Welcome back to Reynolds Workshop. Today we're looking at the Poraxy STEM Kit. This was purchased for $23.99, so just under $24 on Amazon. I'm trying to figure out which ones are actually going to work for what age groups. The box is simple, it holds all your stuff, which I like, and they do have a 100% satisfaction guarantee, which is great. Address is Poraxy Directed Hotmail. Not sure how many STEM companies still use a Hotmail address, but let's move on. Upon opening the box, let's see. You've got some bags, resealable bags. That's nice. A bunch of the kits that we've looked at haven't had anything remotely resealable. A whole bunch of different kits or parts of a kit inside little Ziploc baggies. And you get also 2 screwdrivers that are both Phillips. Not sure why. Not sure what that's for yet. And a pair of tweezers and a book. So you get, looks like with this kit you get 5 different sets of things that probably make different kits. It claims that they're ages 8 and up. You get 5 sets, like I said, and each one is roughly 20 to 40 minutes. I don't know where they get those numbers because some of these I imagine you could bang out in 10 or 15 minutes, and others, you know, depending on the student and the age, could take quite some time. So let's pull one of these apart and see what we think. All right, I've pulled out the, let's see, you get 5 different kits. The bubble machine, that one's pretty obvious. The mini wind-powered car, this might be that one, huh? Judging by the propellers. I don't know, so it's hard to say which one this is because they're not labeled in any way. F- for labeling things, but that's okay. All right, couple of axles, couple different propellers, shrink tube, motors, blah, blah, blah. The book is in color, so I can show you. Ta-da! All right, and so the only way to identify which kit you have in front of you is kind of by the base piece. Like, it seems like each of the base pieces in the overall components are different. So if you look at the bag, you can tell, like the one we have in front of us has a bunch of these kind of yellowy pieces, one motor, battery pack, and blue wheels. So my guess is that this one, even though it's not labeled super well, is the double layered wind powered car. Should look like that when we're done, right? I'll tell you, first impressions are that the parts look fine. They seem like they are relatively high quality. The plastic doesn't seem brittle or anything, but I am noticing that all of the connections electrically have to be soldered on, it looks like. That's too bad. Little clips or something would go a long way for that. Same with the motor mount. You have to screw that down to the plate and so on. So looks like the instructions are pretty straightforward. Parts are labeled. There's arrows and things indicating what you do first and when. And let's put this one together and see what we think. Alright, so I'm starting to put this together and I'm already having some frustrations. The pieces are awfully tiny. The screwdrivers and the screws are super duper tiny. They're not magnetic or magnetized, so getting this to stay here isn't super helpful. The instructions say use the small screws. I could see a student getting super frustrated with this. Well, that's a problem. You drop them on the floor, and it's gone. Okay, and it says install these bad boys. It doesn't give an indication on where. Your guess is as good as mine. Okay, step 2. Doesn't tell me any information. Other piece, step 2, that's why. Okay. Doesn't say where. I'm just gonna try that. So this goes here. I'm just gonna mark it so I know which stupid hole to put it through. It doesn't say that in the instructions, but, you know, so it doesn't tell you where the center of the board is. Like, I mean, maybe that's the lesson with the students. And now, press the wheels inward, make sure they are securely installed. I don't know about that 8-year-old being able to do this. You gotta push those pretty hard. And then that's it. It doesn't. All right, just as a point of reference, these are brand new batteries still in the plastic. So I'm not trying to, it's definitely not the batteries if this thing doesn't work. I don't think you really need the shrink tube, to be honest. Okay. I'm not going to shrink it. Yeah, it's just bananas. Okay. It slowly moves from left to right. My table is level. So, let's try this guy. Oh, jeez. So the bracket doesn't really hold the motor super well. Okay, well, so this is the Poraxy Poraxy STEM Kit. Comes with 5 different systems, different kits within one. Just barely moves. It requires you to solder. It doesn't have great instructions, and it claims it's 8 and up. I have a 7-year-old. I don't think there's any chance that he could put this together. I think these screws are way too small. They get lost way too easily, and clearly we have way too many for this kit. We have 2 screwdrivers, which I'm not sure why. Doesn't come with batteries. I'm not super impressed. It's pretty tough to put together. So all in all, for $24, I guess. I don't know. I'm not super impressed. Now what? It doesn't really propel itself super well.